Some of the world's most expensive real estate sits right here in New York City on a little street called Billionaires Row. It stretches all the way from Park Avenue down to Columbus Circle on 57th Street. And today we're going to be doing a full walking tour explaining each and every building that makes up the iconic skyline of New York City's Billionaires Row, starting right here at 432 Park Avenue. This building was developed, or was built, in 2015. It spans 96 stories. It has about 125 units, and the maximum height on the building is 1,396 feet tall. I'll quickly zoom out to the wide angle lens so you can get a better scope of just the sheer height of the building. Now we're on East 56th Street right now. This is where the main entrance of 432 Park Avenue is. You have this beautiful marble sort of rotunda here. All of the elevator banks are all the way in the back, so you have complete privacy if you have guests or you're coming into your own apartment. So if you look at the availability on the market currently, if you go to streeteasy.com, the prices range from about $5,750,000, which would be the most affordable unit in this building, all the way to $35 million currently on the market if you want more than 3 bedrooms. Now, the amenity package here is absolutely stunning. You have a 75-foot swimming pool. You have a private restaurant exclusively for the residences in the building that is operated by a Michelin star chef, and you have 24/7, 365 concierge. The developer on this deal is Harry Macklow, who is also responsible, by the way, for the largest office to condo conversion in New York City's history. So that was the first stop. Remember, 432 Park Avenue. It's on the corner of East 56th Street and Park. Before we continue with the tour, I want to point out this building right here. This is 425 Park Avenue. This is one of the newest Class A office towers in Manhattan, and this is the temporary headquarters of Ken Griffin's Citadel Securities, which is a quantitative hedge fund and market maker on Wall Street. A little bit later on in the video, we're going to be talking a lot more about Ken Griffin and Citadel, particularly as we approach 220 Central Park South. So let's go to East 57th Street, and we will make a left and go all the way to our next stop. This is the Aston Martin showroom right on Billionaires Row. It appears they're showcasing a F1 vehicle. Just made a left on 57th Street, headed westbound. So we were just on Park Avenue, made that left on 57th Street, and we're going to be going all the way down to 8th Avenue. I quickly want to point your attention to this building right here. This is the Four Seasons Hotel on New York City's Billionaires Row, and unfortunately it has been closed since the pandemic, since COVID. The good news is this building will be opening up once again sometime later in 2024. We should be welcoming guests yet again at the Four Seasons. We're now approaching 5th Avenue. This is the main headquarters of Tiffany. This is their flagship location, right on 5th. We'll quickly switch to the wide-angle lens again. So Tiffany's right on 5th Avenue. As we all know, the company LVMH has acquired Tiffany & Co. They invested about $500 million into doing a complete gut renovation of Tiffany. It's absolutely beautiful and it complements New York City's Billionaires Row quite well. But across the street, you're gonna see another very iconic building. This is the Aman, New York. This is one of the most luxurious hotels anywhere in the world. And it sits right here on the corner of West 57th Street and 5th Avenue. I believe the most inexpensive room is roughly $1,200 a night at Aman, New York. I want to give you guys a quick shot of the brand new $500 million renovation. Bernard Arnault's company, LVMH, owns Tiffany now, and they have done a spectacular $500 million renovation. This is Aman, New York, also newly renovated and open for business. Now, the next stop on this tour is going to be Steinway Tower. When we get to the foot of the building or the residence, I'll tell you all about the developer, how tall the building is, the amenities, as well as the expected price ranges if you want to own a property at Steinway Tower. We have now made it to 6th Avenue, also known as Avenue of the Americas. And right on the corner here, we'll actually cross the street to get a little bit better view. I think the light's broken. But if we switch back to that wide-angle lens, and we look all the way up, you will see Steinway Tower, also nicknamed as the Stairway to Heaven building. This is one of the skinniest residential apartment buildings in the entire world, and it was developed by JDS Management Company, as well as Property Markets Group. Construction finished in 2020. This is a little bit better angle. So as you can see, look at how tall that is. So developer is JDS Development Group, as well as Property Markets Group. It was built in 2020. It spans 82 stories, 60 units total in the building, and it's 1,428 feet tall. Now this building has some of the most amazing amenities I've ever seen in a building anywhere in the world. It has an 82-foot saltwater swimming pool. It has a spa, a fitness center, a golf simulator, a paddle court. And if you currently look at the availability, prices start at $8,495,000. And the penthouse on one of the top floors of the Steinway Tower is currently on the market for $54,600,000. Now the exact address is 111 West 57th Street. And from this angle, we are standing directly at the back entrance. This is actually the retail location. And you can see just how skinny it is. The skinniest residential apartment tower in the entire world, right here at 111 West 57th Street, Steinway Tower. The next building that we're going to showcase on Billionaires Row is my personal favorite for a few reasons. Number one is because it was the first building ever constructed to really coin the name and be a pioneer on New York City's Billionaires Row. And the building is called 157. The address is 157 West 57th Street. The developer on the deal is Extel. The CEO and founder of Extel is Gary Barnett, who is very highly regarded as one of the greatest New York City real estate developers to ever live. The tower sits right across the street from the famous Russian Tea Room, as well as Carnegie Hall. And here it is. An interesting fact about this building, one side, where you can see the entrance right here, it is actually the Park Hyatt New York. So it's a 5-star hotel that is inside 157. from this angle, you can see a little bit better view. So this door is the Park Hyatt Hotel, and this entrance right here is where you would enter should you own a unit or rent in the building. Now again, this is 157 West 57th Street. This is the first building ever put up on New York City's Billionaires Row. It was completed in 2013. It spans 90 stories, has a total of 94 units, and the tower is just over 1,000 feet tall at 1,005 feet. This is my personal favorite building because you can use all of the amenities of the five-star hotel. So the concierge, the private restaurant, the in-room dining, the swimming pool, the beautiful spa that you have. You also have an aquarium. I believe it's a 24-foot aquarium in your building with a dedicated library and wine room. Another interesting fact about 157, there is only one available sponsor unit on the market, and it is unit 32D. D is in dog. Essentially, for those of you who don't know, a sponsor unit means you're purchasing it directly from a developer. It is not a resale. So the building is almost completely sold out. There is one bedroom apartment. It's one bath, or I should say 1.5 bath as well. And it has just under 400 square feet of dedicated outdoor space. Currently on the market in the building, the most affordable apartment there is $3,225,000. And the most expensive unit on the market right now at 157 is $26 million. However, a breaking piece of news, the entire 83rd floor of this building was on the market for $34 million. It was on the market for 2 weeks, and it sold and closed at, I believe, $32 million right here on Billionaires Row. Okay, let's continue on our journey here. We're currently standing directly outside Carnegie Hall, and we are now on 7th Avenue, headed westbound to check out the final 2 towers on Billionaires Row. Not sure if anybody remembers Hurricane Sandy, but there was that very iconic shot of the crane, the big boom, actually broke off during Sandy. That was right at top 157. So we've officially reached the second to last stop on our tour. Now this building is going to be a little bit familiar for the following reason. This is 217 West 57th Street. This is the main entrance to Central Park Tower. We'll zoom out to the wide angle lens. They have a tenant, Nordstrom, right in the building. And the same developer as 157 also constructed this building right here. This is the most over-the-top, most sought-after building on New York City's Billionaires Row. What we're looking at right now is Central Park Tower. The developer is Extel, so the same developer who did 157 completed this building in 2020. It spans 131 stories across 179 units, and the tower tops out at a stunning and breathtaking 1,550 feet. This building has over 5,000 square feet of dedicated amenities. You have a 60-foot lap pool outside. You also have a 10 cubed club, which is a private restaurant and bar on the 100th floor of the building, where you have panoramic views of all of Midtown Manhattan, spanning all the way down to the Freedom Tower near Battery Park, and unobstructed views of Central Park. We'll give you one last shot, one last look at the building, and then we'll sort of talk about some of the pricing. Recently, we had a record-setting transaction almost at the very, very top. The duplex apartment at Central Park Tower just sold and closed for $110 million. But the most expensive apartment on the market is the triplex that sits at the very top, and it's on the market for $195 million. We've now made it to Broadway. We're going to be walking uptown near 59th Street, Columbus Circle. The building in the distance that you see right here is the Trump International Hotel and Tower. But we're going to be making a right on 58th Street, and we're going to be checking out the last and final building on our Billionaires Road tour today. As we make this right, we're going to be fast approaching 220 Central Park South, which is the last stop on our tour today. This, by the way, is the best-selling building currently on Billionaires Row. You have 2 points of entry, one on Central Park South and one right here on 58th Street. You have a private parking garage here, 24/7, 365 security with 9-foot clearance. You have another main entrance and a rotunda right here that we're going to check out, but I'll show you the top of the building right here. Again, this is 220 Central Park South. The developer is Vornado Realty Trust, so Steve Roth's company. It was built in 2015, so it topped out and ready for occupancy and move-in in 2015. It spans 70 stories across 117 units, and the tower topped out at 950 feet. The amenities here are really, really stunning. You have an 82-foot full swimming pool, a lap pool. You have an athletic club, a private dining room and restaurant only for residents that is fully operated by Michelin star restaurant Jean Georges, which is also right here at 1 Central Park West. You have a full library, you have a full basketball court, and you have 24/7, 365 concierge. We'll flip back to the main angle lens so you can get a little bit of a better look. Now, at the beginning of the video, we were briefly talking about Citadel Securities' Ken Griffin. Well, Ken Griffin is one of the wealthiest hedge fund managers on the planet, and he owns 3 specific floors in this building, and it is reported that he paid a little over $100 million for those units. So we'll go to the front of 220 Central Park South, and we'll continue to talk about the developer a little bit, and we will conclude our tour. And on a price per square foot basis, some of these units can fetch upwards of 4,000 square feet, $4,000 a foot. This is some of the most prime, sought after, and luxurious real estate anywhere in the world, and you're gonna see it right here in New York City. It's interesting because Vornado traditionally doesn't do these ultra luxury Billionaires Row style buildings. They're actually right now doing the Penn 2 project, which is revitalizing New York City's Penn District and Penn Station. We also filmed a walking tour of that development a few weeks ago if you'd like to check it out. Right next to the Trump International Hotel and Tower is 15 Central Park West. That was one of the first ultra-luxury buildings that was really considered to be in allure to the most wealthy individuals in the world. It's nicknamed the Limestone Building, and it was completed during the depths of the financial crisis. And even still, the building achieved a complete sellout and is still selling quite well in terms of the resales that are currently on the market. And a lot of existing residents of 15 Central Park West are now choosing to upgrade their apartments, their condos, at 220 Central Park South because it has very, very similar architectural flair and architectural design with much better and upgraded amenities. Right here is the main awning or the main canopy at 220 Central Park South. To the east side, you can see the Sherry Netherland, as well as the GM building. You have a front row view of Central Park, all the way to the Deutsche Bank Center. And finally, right here, 220 Central Park South. So if you enjoyed the video and you're interested in New York City real estate, and even if you're interested in purchasing one of these beautiful units here, feel free to reach out to me at thomas.malloy@element.com, and we'd be more than happy to help you out find the perfect home for you right here in New York City. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.